Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are at the next topic, that is the middle game positions explained. We are at the 14th position of our topic. This is the position with white to play and win. We can easily see that the white pieces are very active and they are attacking near the black king. Both bishops are pointing out on the two important diagonals. Bishop b2 attacks till f6, g7 and to some extent till the h8 square. d3 bishop attacks till the h7 square. Queen is eyeing the g5 and the h6 squares and the rook is eyeing on the complete g file. So we can see that there are 4 attackers and merely 2 defenders. Knight controls the h7 and the h5 squares and bishop's main duty is to protect the knight, plus it is blocking the g file to some extent. The pawn moves h6 and g5 have made the position weak for black. So let's get down to the moves here. We can easily see there are 2 extra attackers, which makes white think of a possible combination. Obvious moves which come to mind: rook into g5, bishop into f6 and f4. White queen is attacked right now. So many people will discard the move bishop f6 and f4 instantly. Let's look at the move rook g5 first. After rook into g5, h into g5, queen into g5, black has various ways to defend. One, he can go queen e7 and just protect himself from the threat of bishop into f6. And second is, just after rook into g5, h into g5, q g5, e8 is also equally possible. Knight just guards the bishop. There is no good way to bring more attacks on g7 and black should be able to win the game easily. Let's look at the next most obvious move, which is bishop f6. Well, the most problematic line looks g into h4. Many weaker players just leave the variation there itself, seeing that the queen is lost. But we can see that the 4th series of moves are possible after that. After bf6, gh4, rook g7 check. Well, materially there are only 2 minor pieces for the queen, but the bishops and the rook are capable of creating mating net around the black king. After rg7, if king h8, many would expect rook f7 winning the queen on d7, but white can use a mating pattern. Rook h7 double check, rook and bishop both are giving check, king goes back to g8 and rook h8 mates. So this is the purpose of doing these positions. We are trying to understand the end position. After bishop f6, gh4, rook g7, king f8 is forced, and here too white has 2 ways of winning. We see that the king on f8 is right now looking safe, but if the rook can give check from the back rank, it would be mate. So the bishops are helping in controlling the important squares. Right now e7 is guarded by the f6 bishop. Same is applicable to g7. White can win with the move rook h7. Well, rook h8 threat can be only stopped by qg4, which can be taken by hg, and when the king moves to e8, white can just block with the move bishop f5, and there is no escape for the black king. Black king is caught in the mating net. Let's play the moves and see now. Bishop f6, g into h4, rook into g7. After kh8, rook h7 check, kg8, rook h8 mates. So king f8 forced, and here bishop h7 also wins. It's very similar to the rook h7 line. In the game, rook h7 was played, qg4 forced. Idea is to interpose the queen, but white just takes the queen, and after ke8, he can win here in 2 ways. One, rook h8 check, kd7, bishop f5 mates, or direct bishop f5, when even after king f8, rook h8 is mate and white wins. Let's look at the other main possibility for black. After the move bishop into f6, we see that b into f6 is also possible. But here too black comes into another mating pattern. After qh6, we see that white is threatening to do queen h7 and bh7 both. One threat is bh7, king h8, bishop f5 and winning the queen. If queen goes to e7, then it is blocking the king's path to run from f8. If the bishop moves away, let's say g7, after the move, queen g5, attacking g7, forcing black to go f6, white has the very strong move queen h5. When we see bishop f5 followed by bishop e6 is an unstoppable plan, because after re8, here white has the very dangerous rook g7, re8 loses on the spot. Rook g7, g7 forced, queen check, king f8 and qb7. So the bishop is basically unable to move. If bishop e5, then rook g5 waits after bg7, qg7. If bishop goes to e7, keeping g5 supported, then queen h7 check, king f8, queen h8 waits. So we can say that all in all, in every line, white is winning by force. Only other option, rook e8, trying to activate his pieces, is perhaps the best try, but then also white wins in all the lines. re8, bh7 check, king h8, queen h6 check, king h7, rook g5, at the most re1 check, king h2, and it's game over. Although the position was not very difficult, there were a lot of variations which white had to see. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.